My girlfriend of 3 years just dumped me on our anniversary in front of her influencer friends while they were live streaming. My name is Benjamin, 29 years old. I work as a software developer in Portland, Oregon. I taught myself to code back in college when I realized my communications degree was not going to pay the bills. It took years of grinding, but I built something stable. Good salary, decent savings, quiet life. I am not flashy. I drive a Honda Civic. I meal prep on Sundays. I know who I am. 3 years ago, I met Haley at a coffee shop downtown. She was 24 then, working part-time as a bartender while trying to build her presence as a lifestyle influencer. She had maybe 2,000 followers at the time. There was something magnetic about her confidence, the way she talked about her dreams, like they were already happening. She told me she was going to build an empire. I believed her completely. Looking back, I should have seen the pattern forming. Over the past 3 years, I paid for her social media marketing courses. I bought her camera equipment when she said it would help her content quality. I covered her phone bill when she upgraded to the newest iPhone for better video. When her credit was too damaged to lease the Audi she wanted for her brand image, I put my name on the paperwork. Every time I hesitated, she would look at me with those brown eyes and say the same thing. You are investing in us, Ben. I am going to make our future beautiful. I wanted to believe that. I needed to believe that someone saw potential in a future with me. The red flags started waving about 2 months ago, but I convinced myself I was just being paranoid. Haley was constantly attending what she called creator nights, club events, collaboration shoots that ran until 3 in the morning. Her phone was always face down on every surface. She started taking business calls in the bathroom with the door locked and the fan running. The criticism came next. She started picking at everything about me. My clothes were too boring. My hobbies were too predictable. My career was too safe. You are not ambitious enough, she said one night after I suggested we stay in and cook dinner together. I need someone who matches my energy. The phrase that haunts me now came about 3 weeks ago. We were having breakfast, and she was scrolling through her phone, barely looking at me. I outgrow people fast. Ben, not everyone can keep up. I should have heard that for what it was, a warning, a confession. But I just nodded and poured her more coffee like the fool I was. Tonight was supposed to be our 3-year anniversary. I had been planning it for over a month. There is this rooftop restaurant downtown that Haley had been begging to try for over a year. The wait list is ridiculous, but I pulled strings through a client connection and got us a table at sunset. I was going to tell her how much she meant to me. I had even rehearsed what I wanted to say in the car on the way over. I showed up at her apartment at 7 in the evening wearing the navy suit she always said made me look handsome. I was holding a bouquet of her favorite flowers. My heart was actually pounding with excitement. Can you imagine that? I was nervous to see my own girlfriend of 3 years. She opened the door, and my stomach dropped immediately. Haley was dressed for a night out. Sequin skirt, full glam makeup, hair curled and sprayed into perfection, but this was not for our anniversary dinner. Behind her, I could hear loud music pumping from her living room, laughter, the hum of ring lights. I saw at least 4 of her influencer friends sprawled across her furniture, phones out, filming TikToks. She looked at me like I was a delivery driver who had interrupted something important. Oh, Ben, she said, her voice flat. I totally forgot to tell you. Tonight is Girls' Creator Night. Rain check. I stood there holding the flowers. My brain could not process what was happening. It is our anniversary, I managed to say. I confirmed the reservation with you yesterday. You said you were excited. Haley shrugged, like I had asked her about the weather. Anniversaries are a capitalist construct, she said. We can celebrate any time. This collab opportunity just came up. You understand. Before I could respond, her friend Marissa appeared in the doorway behind her. I could see the phone in her hand was recording. She was live streaming the whole thing. Oh my God, he actually showed up. Marissa laughed, not even trying to hide her amusement. Babe, didn't you say you were already phasing him out? Another friend I did not recognize chimed in from the couch. Ben, don't make this dramatic. She is growing. You are just comfortable. Let her evolve. I looked at Haley, waiting for her to defend me. to tell them they were wrong, to show me that 3 years meant something. She sighed like I was inconveniencing her. Ben, we are taking a break. I need someone who fits my lifestyle. We can talk later. Okay, just not tonight. My chest felt hollow. I could not even form words. I just nodded, turned around, and started walking down the hallway. Behind me, I heard someone say it. "Ah, look, he is leaving like a sad golden retriever." The laughter that followed is something I will hear in my nightmares for years. I drove home in silence. No music, no podcast, just the sound of my own breathing and the realization that I had been discarded, like an old prop, that no longer fit the aesthetic. At 11 that night, I got a direct message from a name I vaguely recognized. Madison. She used to be one of Haley's closest friends until they had a falling out about 6 months ago. I never knew why they stopped talking. Her message was short. "You don't know the half of it. Meet me tomorrow. I have proof." Attached was a video. I almost did not open it. Part of me knew that whatever I saw would break something inside me that could not be repaired. I opened it anyway. The video was from a bar. Dim lighting. Music in the background. Haley was there, wrapped in the arms of a man I had never seen. He was older than me, better dressed. The kind of guy who looked like money followed him wherever he went. She was kissing his neck, laughing at something he whispered in her ear. Then she turned to whoever was filming and smiled directly at the camera. "Soft launching my upgrade," she said. I watched that video 4 times before I put my phone down. My hands were shaking. My vision was blurring. 3 years. 3 years of support. 3 years of believing her when she said I was her person. Update 1. I met Madison at a quiet cafe across town. I chose a spot in the back where nobody would hear us. She arrived with a folder and a look on her face that told me this was going to be worse than I imagined. "I have been waiting for someone to listen," she said before she even sat down. Haley burned our friendship because I started asking too many questions. I knew something was wrong. I just didn't have anyone to tell. Madison told me everything. The man in the video was named Liam. He was 32 years old and came from money. His family owned a well-known restaurant group in the Portland area. Haley had been seeing him secretly for at least 2 months, while still living with me. Still sleeping in my bed. Still letting me pay her bills. She told the group chat she was going to upgrade soon, Madison said, sliding her phone across the table. She was just waiting for Liam to commit before she officially ended things with you. I looked at the screenshots. The group chat was brutal. Haley had been calling me names I never want to repeat. ATM boyfriend, budget Ben, her safety net. There were messages where she laughed about how easy I was to manipulate, how I would believe anything she told me as long as she smiled the right way. Then Madison showed me the photos, pictures Haley had secretly taken of me while I was sleeping. She had sent them to her friends with a caption underneath. "Tell me you date down without telling me." I felt physically sick. I had to excuse myself to the bathroom just to splash water on my face and remember how to breathe. When I came back, Madison was crying. "This isn't the first time she has done this," she said. "Her ex before you. Same pattern. She uses one guy for stability while she hunts for someone richer. Once she locks down the upgrade, she discards whoever was holding her up. You were never her boyfriend, Ben. Just a utility she used until something better came along." I went home that night and did something I had been avoiding. I calculated exactly how much money I had spent on Haley over the past 12 months. Marketing classes, equipment, phone bills, apartment decor she insisted we needed, trips she said would help her content. The AITA payments that I made every single month. $29,500. Nearly $30,000 in 1 year. And that was just what I could track. It did not include all things. Then I ended up when you stopped counting. I sat at my desk staring at that number until my coffee went cold. That was when something shifted inside me. The sadness did not disappear, but something harder started growing underneath it. I was done being the version of myself that let this happen. I was done being infrastructure. The next morning, I called my old college roommate. He is a lawyer now, working in contracts and business disputes. I told him what happened and asked if he knew anyone who dealt with messy financial breakups. He gave me one name, Marilyn, 55 years old. sharp as a scalpel. He warned me that she did not take cases she could not win, and she did not tolerate clients who wasted her time. I met with Marilyn 2 days later. I brought every document I could find. Bank statements, the lease agreement for the Audi, text messages. Everything Madison had given me. Marilyn listened without interrupting. When I finished, she leaned back in her chair and looked at me with a small smile. The Audi, she said. Whose name is on the lease? Mine, I answered. Her smile widened. Perfect. Let's start there. Update 2. The repossession happened at 8:12 in the morning. I was not there to see it. I did not need to be, but I found out later that Haley came outside in a bathrobe screaming at the tow truck driver, while her neighbors watched from their windows. The car was legally mine. I had every right to take it back. She had no leg to stand on. That did not stop her from trying to destroy me online. Within hours, Haley's social media was on fire, crying videos in her stories, posts calling me a psycho ex who stole her car out of jealousy, claims that I was obsessed with her and trying to ruin her life because she had the courage to leave me. He cannot handle that. I moved on, she wrote in one post. This is what insecure men do when women level up. I did not respond, not publicly, not privately. I just let her scream into the void while I kept my silence. Her messages flooded my phone. 37 texts, 9 missed calls. Voicemails that ranged from sobbing apologies to threats about calling the police. You ruined my photo shoot, one text said. I had brand content scheduled. Do you know how much money you just cost me? Another one read, Liam will fix this. He has connections. You are done in this city. I did not reply to any of them, but then something unexpected happened. That evening, I received a message from a number I did not recognize. The name attached to it made my stomach drop. This is Liam. We need to talk. I think she lied to both of us. I stared at that message for a long time before I agreed to meet him. We sat across from each other at a quiet table in one of his family's restaurants. He looked different than I expected, less arrogant, more tired. Like someone who had just woken up from a dream they did not realize was a nightmare. I need to know the truth, he said. She told me you were her stalker ex, that you wouldn't leave her alone, that you were obsessed, and she was scared of you. I almost laughed. Almost. We were living together until 3 weeks ago, I said. I was paying her bills, the Audi she was driving. That was my lease. My name, my credit on the line. Liam's face went pale. She never mentioned any of that. She told me she was independent, self-made, building her brand alone. I showed him everything. The bank statements, the screenshots Madison gave me, the video of Haley calling him her upgrade while she was still sleeping in my apartment. Liam sat back in his chair like someone had knocked the wind out of him. She asked me for $3,000 last month, he said quietly. Emergency bills, she said. Some issue with her apartment. I didn't question it. She was using both of us, I said. Same playbook, different targets. Liam nodded slowly. Then he told me something that made the whole picture even worse. There were others, he said. I started noticing things. DMs from nightclub promoters. A touring DJ she claimed was just a friend. I think we were both just options on a ladder she was climbing. I was not special. I was not even second place. I was one of several rungs she used to pull herself higher without caring who she stepped on. Liam pulled out his phone right there at the table. He typed a message to Haley while I watched. We are done, and Benjamin deserves an apology you will never give. Her response came almost immediately, a wall of excuses, explanations, attempts to turn it around on him. He read the first 3 lines, then blocked her number. I am sorry, he said to me before he left. I should have asked more questions. I did not hate Liam. I could not. He was just another person she fooled. Another believer in the dream she was selling. Final update. I wish I could tell you that I celebrated when Haley's life started falling apart. I wish I could say I felt victorious, watching her empire crumble. But that is not how healing works. At least, not for me. After Liam ended things and Madison's screenshots started circulating among their mutual friends, the dominoes fell fast. Haley lost over 7,000 followers in a single week. A skincare brand she had been promoting canceled their paid collaboration, citing concerns about honesty and brand alignment. Without the Audi, she could not reliably get to her bartending job. She got fired within a month. 2 of her closest influencer friends unfollowed her publicly after seeing what she had written about them in those leaked group chats. Turns out she had backup plans for them too. Everyone was just a stepping stone in her version of the story. Last I heard, Haley moved back home with her parents in a suburb outside Portland. Her content slowed down. Her engagement dropped. The algorithm stopped caring about her the same way she stopped caring about the people who supported her. I did not post about it. I did not gloat. I just kept living my life. I got promoted at work to lead developer on a new internal project. It came with a raise and responsibilities that finally matched what I had been capable of all along. I started going back to the gym and joined a local pickleball group just to meet new people and learn to laugh again. I sold the repossessed Audi to a dealership and recovered about 65% of what I had paid into it. The money went straight into savings. A fresh start fund, I called it. Most importantly, I started therapy. I needed to understand why I let myself become infrastructure, why I ignored every red flag, why I kept pouring love into someone who saw me as nothing more than a resource to be extracted. But I am learning to trust myself again, which is something I did not realize I had lost. A few months into my recovery, I matched with someone new. Her name is Mia. She is 28. An audio engineer at a small recording studio across town. Our first date was coffee, not dinner. She insisted on splitting the check. I don't need anyone to take care of me, she said. I just want someone to walk beside me. We are taking things slow. Weekend hikes, cooking simple meals together, no grand gestures, no love bombing, no rushing toward a future that neither of us has fully imagined yet. One evening we were sitting on my couch watching a movie when she set her phone on the table. She did not even think about it. I flinched. Mia noticed immediately. Hey, she said softly. What just happened? I told her the truth, that I was still healing, that certain things triggered memories I was still working through, that sometimes I felt broken in ways I could not fully explain. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she just, healing isn't linear, she said. I am not here to rush you. I am just here. That was enough. More than enough. About a month ago, I received an email from an address. I recognized immediately Haley. My finger hovered over the delete button, but something made me open it first. I know you will not take me back. I just needed to say, you didn't deserve what happened. I am sorry. I read it twice. Then I deleted it without replying. Some apologies come too late to matter. Some bridges burn so completely that there is nothing left to rebuild. I did not owe her forgiveness. And I certainly did not owe her closure. That was something she would have to find on her own. I have been thinking a lot about what Haley said to me near the end, that she outgrew people fast. That not everyone could keep up. She was right about one thing. I could not keep up with her version of growth. The ladder climbing, the discarding of anyone who stopped being useful. The constant hunger for more without ever appreciating what was already there. But I have learned something important in the months since she left. Real growth is not about outrunning the people who love you. It is about becoming someone worth staying for. Someone who builds instead of extracts. Someone who sees people as partners, not stepping stones. I did not get revenge. I did not win some dramatic victory. I just finally stopped losing. Sometimes, the best upgrade you ever get is uninstalling the malware you mistook for love. And sometimes the person you were afraid to become without them is exactly who you needed to be all along.